Hi everyone, welcome to the official YouTube channel of NLTI. I am Manish Gupta, the founder of NLTI and currently in my final year at the National Law School Bangalore, which I suppose is the dream law college for most of you watching this video. तो आज हम इस वीडियो में क्या डिस्कस करने वाले हैं that is on the screen, and this is a question that we have been receiving from multiple students that are 4 months enough to crack NLSAT 2026. So we are already in December, we are cruising towards the new year. We are entering January, so you technically have almost 4 months to decide whether you want to prepare for NLSAT, how you're preparing for NLSAT, and whether you will be able to give it your best shot in the next 4 months. So stay tuned in this video. We will be discussing everything regarding whether, firstly, is it even possible to clear NLSAT in 4 months, and also if it is possible, then what should be our strategy for the next 4 months. So stay tuned. First things first, let's have a look at the calendar. What is it looking like for NLSAT 2026? So if you are new to this field and you have not had a chance to go through the admissions notification, the exam date has already been announced. The exam is on 26th of April 2026, which falls on a Sunday. Very similar to last year. Last year exam hua tha 27th April Sunday. And this year the dates are almost similar, and the last week of April, which that is falling on a Sunday, is usually when the exam is conducted. So this year the exam is on 26th of April. The time is 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So all of you who don't know what the duration of the paper is, it is 150 minutes, that is 2 hours 30 minutes, and the paper starts at 10 a.m. sharp, and you will have to submit your OMR and the sheet by 12:30 p.m. Applications have already opened. If you have not registered till now but are planning to give the paper, it is advised that you register as soon as possible. You pay the fee and submit your application, because sometimes hota kya hai that you submit your application very late and then you don't get the center of your choice. So the center allotment for the exam is usually first come first serve. So for example, if you reside in, let's say, Delhi, but the Delhi slots have already been full because of the humongous number of applications that come from Delhi, you might have to come to a nearby center, probably Chandigarh or Haryana, to give the paper. Last date to register, please note, is 23rd of March. There's still time to go, but again, as I told, it's always advisable to start early and submit your application as soon as possible. Now coming to the structure, again, I'm trying to make this video as basic as possible so that जिन्होंने अभी तक कुछ भी नहीं किया NLSAT का, at least they have an idea of what the exam is before they start preparing for it. As a matter of fact, I know that a lot of people right now have their exams going on in Delhi University colleges and colleges across India. So if you're planning to give it a shot or start your preparation after your exams are over and then stumble upon this video, so this slide will give you an idea of what the paper pattern looks like. So the paper is of 150 minutes in total, as we already discussed. There are 2 parts to this paper, so this is peculiar to this exam. Some of you might have given CLAT when you were younger and before you decided that you want to first do a UG degree and then pursue law as a PG option. So you know CLAT has only one part, but very unique to CLAT and very peculiar to NLSAT. There are 2 parts to this paper. There is part 1 comprising 75 marks and part B comprising 75 marks. So equal weightage in terms of marks given to both the sections. So part A is the objective section, which comprises MCQ. There will be a question followed by 4 options and you'll have to select the correct one. And these questions come from reading comprehension, critical reasoning and current affairs. So the divide is almost equal, 25, 25, 25. But sometimes, like last year, the GK questions were in a greater number as compared to the previous year. So there were around 28 to 30 questions from the GK section or the current affairs section in NLSAT 2025. So we can expect the similar thing in NLSAT 2026 also. Now coming to part B, it comprises legal reasoning and analytical essay. So this is the subjective component. You will be given a situation or a factual matrix, and based on that factual matrix, you'll have to answer or take a side of one particular party. For example, let me give you an instance. So my name is Anish. Let's say you will have a factual matrix that Anish, under the influence of alcohol, killed B. And then you'll be asked to decide as a judge that whether Anish will be held liable for B's murder or not. Or sometimes you'll also have to play the devil's advocate, that how will you defend A or Anish and acquit him from this charge of murder. So this is usually what is asked in part B. This is a very simple arrangement that I gave you. The passages or the factual matrix usually are way more complex than this. It might come from tax law, international law, environment law, public law. So you'll have to be prepared and at least know some legal jargon to answer the questions. And one analytical essay. So legal reasoning are usually from the fields of law, but analytical reasoning and the analytical essay usually comes from a very contemporary topic. Like last year, the topics were three language policy, or whether social media should be banned for young people, and whether domestic help should be compensated. So these are these were the policy and legal issues that were very contemporary last year. These are these are debates rooted in the Indian history and philosophy. So similar to last year and to the years before that, we are expecting a similar range of questions to come in part B. That is from contemporary legal political issues that are rooted in the Indian history. Part B, so very important thing to know if you are watching something about NLSAT for the first time, is that Part B is evaluated only if Part A cutoff is cleared. I'll talk about this more in detail in the next coming slides, but at least know that you have to do fairly well in your Part A. You'll have to clear the cutoff in Part A so that you are eligible for your Part B evaluation. Sometimes what happens is people spend so much time on writing, or people spend so much time improving their subjective answers, that their Part A lacks somewhere. So even if you are scoring, let's say, even if you have written brilliant answers or essays in your Part B, sometimes there's a possibility that it will not be checked because you failed to clear Part A cutoff. Now, one thing that you need to know is that NLSAT is not a memory exam. It is an aptitude-based test. NLSAT will not reward memorizing facts or completing chunky syllabi or speed without reasoning. You do not just need to go on improving your speed without actually thinking logically and clearly. So instead, what NLSAT rewards is your clarity in reading, how well you are able to think logically, and how well you are able to write, and the structure that you provide to your writing. So keep a note of these 3 points. You have to think logically, you have to apply critical reasoning, and your answers need to be structured with coherent reasoning. Only then you will be able to clear this exam. Simply, if you go on writing a lot of pages, let's say 3 to 4 pages of essays, or you continue writing facts but without analyzing those facts, you will not be able to score good in your Part B. You have to provide coherent, clear reasoning backed by facts in a proper structure. Now, so some people think who ask this question to us at NLTI is who ask this question of whether 4 months are enough. They usually confuse time with an advantage. They think that if they start early, let's say if they had started in April this year, so they would have had a year of preparation. So they think that people who start early have an advantage. That is true in one sense, that people who start early might have an advantage in terms of the number of hours they can devote to mocks, or the number of mocks that they can give, or the number of, or the GK sources they could refer to. But again, you need to understand that time is not everything. Time is not an advantage, and more months does not mean a better rank. A lot of times we have seen at NLTI that people who have enrolled in our comprehensive 1-year course have failed to clear the paper simply because they could not put their energy where it was required the most. They went on improving their Part A efficiency, improving their Part A score, or vice versa, improving their Part B score, but failed to strike a balance. So what matters is how fast you build your thinking skills, how early you start writing your Part B answers, and how strategically you use your mock tests. Mock tests are indispensable and very important for your NLSAT preparation. That is why some people clear NLSAT in 4 months, as I will show you in the next couple of slides, while others fail to even clear the paper after 1 year of prep. So don't worry, even if you're starting right now, you have ample amount of time, but only if you put it to judicious use, limit your distractions, and go all in for your preparation. So Gen Z have this word called lock-in. So if you want to clear NLSAT 2026, you'll have to lock in right now. Now, तो होता क्या है, बहुत बार हमें बच्चे बोलते हैं, and people who are aspiring for NLSAT, वो बोलते हैं, Anish, this is your business. You have to convince people that they can clear NLSAT in 4 months. If you can't convince people to clear NLSAT in 4 months, then they will stop enrolling with you. So that is why I've come here today with data. I've come here with case studies to show that I'm not fluffing or bluffing when I say that NLSAT can be cleared in 4 months, because I have data right in front of me or at my back. So talking about Avilokita. So Avilokita got an All India rank of 2 in NLSAT 2025. As you can see, she was our student at NLTI. She was enrolled with us. You can check out her interview also. And she prepared only exclusively with NLTI. So now you might have questions that how long did Avilokita prepared for? And to break the suspense, she enrolled. So okay, a brief about Avilokita's background. So she did her political science from St. Stephen's College, Delhi University, a very prestigious college in itself. So what she did was she enrolled with NLTI on 6th of April. So the exam was on 27th of April. She enrolled just 21 days back. She gave her first mock on 6th of April and she gave her last mock on 26th of April. 26th of April, that is the day preceding NLSAT. And the total number of mocks she gave was 15. So now you can see she prepared with NLTI only for 21 days and got an All India rank of 2. Not even any other rank to just get into college, but an unassailable All India rank of 2. If she can do it in 21 days, I'm sure you can do it in 4 months. Just to show you a brief trajectory of Avilokita. So she gave her first mock on 6th of April. These are all the mocks that she appeared for, NLSAT 17, 16, 15. So these are the NLTI mocks that we release for our enrolled students. So she appeared for all these mocks. Her last mock, as you can see, was on 26th of April. This was an old mock. She started with the latest ones and went backwards, which is the strategy that we also advise because the newer mocks contain more relevant GK. So this is the strategy or the trajectory that Avilokita followed in the last 21 days of her preparation to get an All India rank of 2. Now, I will not leave you with just one topper. I will talk about 3 more. So Nikhil, let's talk about Nikhil now. So Nikhil got an All India rank of 3. Again, an NLTI student. You can check out his interview on our YouTube channel. So Nikhil also was a student at NLTI and got an All India rank of 3 and is now doing great at the National Law School Bangalore in the 3-year LLB course. So he enrolled with NLTI on 26th of December. So if you're watching this video, when it comes live, this will come live on 26th of December or somewhere around that time. So Nikhil was in the same situation as you are in right now when he chose to enroll with NLTI, because he enrolled on 26th of December, exactly 4 months before NLSAT. He gave his first mock on the 29th of December, 3 days after enrolling. His last mock, again similar to Avilokita, was on 25th of April, 2 days before NLSAT. And the total number of mocks, this goes on to show how hardworking Nikhil was. The total number of mocks he appeared for was 43. Now, again, talking about his mock trajectory, so he gave his first mock, that was the NLSAT mock 21. This was the free mock on the 22nd of December before he enrolled with us, maybe to check the quality of our mocks. And then after he enrolled with us, he started with critical reasoning sectionals, a very strong move to first build your foundations by working on sectional tests, which also again NLTI provides. And then he started working on the latest mocks. So again, this is the trajectory that Nikhil followed, attempting 43 mocks. So this is actually the highest number of mocks that I have seen a student solving before their NLSAT exam. And the list was so big that we had to make 2 slides on that. So he gave almost all these mocks before he sat for the exam. He included some CVT mocks also that again NLTI provides to have a holistic comprehension preparation. Now, okay, again, one more slide just on Nikhil's mocks that he gave, because again, he was actually very hardworking. See, you can see here the total number of entries stand at 43. So he gave 43 mocks, including sectionals, before he sat for the preparation. So again, the takeaway from this is, even if you are starting right now, even if you're starting in January, you have enough time to prepare for NLSAT and get a great rank, even a single digit rank. But you have to lock in just like Nikhil did. Give mocks relentlessly, attend all the classes, and be diligent with your mock analysis. Sorry. Now talking about one more topper. So Chavi, All India rank 4, NLSAT 2025, again a student at NLTI. Her background, she did her history from Lady Shri Ram College, LSR, as you all know, from Delhi University, again a great college. She enrolled with us on 27th of September, a couple more months before you guys are watching this video. So she had around 6 months to prepare. She gave her first mock on 28th of September, 2 days after enrolling. And then her last mock was again on 26th of April, 1 day before appearing for NLSAT 25 examination. And the total number of mocks she gave was 28. Again, her interview is available on her YouTube channel. Feel free to watch it so that you can get some guidance on how she prepared, what are the sources she referred to, how many mocks she gave, and simply just to know her better on and her preparation strategy better. Again, we have a slide on her trajectory. She again started with sectional tests, which is again a great move, which is recommended to everyone who's watching this video. Before simply jumping into mock tests, first start with sectional tests so that you improve your comprehension skills, you improve your accuracy, and you improve your speed. Simply jumping into mock tests will cause unimaginable anxiety and panic, simply because you will not be able to score very well. And if you're overwhelmed, then nothing worse than that. So start with sectionals and then move on to mock slowly. So this is the trajectory that Chavi followed. Again, you can see a mix of both critical reasoning, English, and full length mocks. Now, okay, so the last topper that we'll be talking about in today's video, to just give you an idea on how you can prepare for the next 4 months, we'll talk about Kriti Malik. All India rank 5 in NLSAT 2025, again a student at the National Training Institute. You can check out her interview as well on our YouTube channel. So the background of Kriti is a bit unique to most other aspirants. She did a course on politics and government from Sciences Po University in Paris. She studied internationally. She was not pursuing her UG degree in India. So she enrolled with NLTI on the 15th of January 2025. But it was only a month later, that is in February, that is to be precise, on 16th of February, when she gave her first mock. And again, the last mock that she appeared for was on 25th of April. The total number of mocks she gave was 31. So again, you can see a good number of mocks coupled with sectionals to build your accuracy, speed, and skills. Trajectory of Kriti shows, so she started with her English sectional 1 on 16th of February, and then went on with mocks and a lot more sectionals. So this is how a lot of stoppers prepare, and a lot of aspirants watching this video should prepare. First start with sectionals before jumping into mocks. Okay, so now we have talked about these 4 toppers. We have talked about Avilokita rank 2, we have talked about Nikhil rank 3, we have talked about Chavi rank 4, and we have then talked about Kriti, who was All India rank 5. And do note that all these were exclusive NLTI students and they prepared with NLTI. So now what this means for your prep. In 4 months, you cannot afford imbalance. You have to strike the right balance between your college exams or your college curriculum and your NLSAT. And even in NLSAT, you have to strike the right balance between part A and part B. Your prep must, and this is a non-negotiable, secure part A cutoff safely. First, improve your comprehension skills and your reading speed, coupled with your GK understanding, so that at least you are sure that your part B will be checked. Just to give you an idea, a lot of people who are watching this video might be new to it and would not know what the cutoff usually looks like. So for the part A, you actually need to target at least 55 to 56. So if you're not scoring this much, your part B will not be checked. Again, while you are securing your part A cutoff, it is very important that you simultaneously train your writing muscles as well. As I told you, a lot of people just simply keep on working on part A, but just ignore part B completely. So even if you have a great score in part A, let's assume it to be 65. If you do not score a good score in part B, you will not clear the paper. So this year the cutoff was around 98, 99 if I'm not wrong. So even if you get 65 in your part B, you need to get 35 in your part B, which is a very difficult feat in itself. So target both the parts simultaneously. Do not focus on one part exclusively. Peak at the right time, not burn out easily. You have to peak at the right time. That means a lot of people might peak in December, but they burn out closer to the exam, let's say in March or April. Some people burn out, some people start late, so they peak also very late, let's say a day before exam, but that will not help your case, because then in the mock, you will be underconfident, you will be anxious, and you will not have confidence in your prep. So it is very important that you peak at the right time, which is like 10 to 15 days before the exam, so that you have at least a couple more mocks or a couple more sectionals to give before you actually sit for the paper, to stay in that groove of confidence and peak. Now, so the answer to the question is very simple, that yes, 4 months are enough to prepare for NLSAT 2026 and get a decent rank. All the 4 case studies that I showed you, apart from Chavi, who started 6 months before the exam, everyone else in the top 5 started in the last 4 to 5 months. So it is very important you take a cue from that NLSAT is not about time, or it is not about how long you prepare, but it is about how well you prepare, how comprehensive your prep is. So now, just to give you a strategy on how you can, how your next 4 months should look like. So month 1, that is December to January, or like the ending of December till the ending of January. This is your foundation plus speed month, in which you will be working on your foundation as well as your speed. And for this, you have to do daily RC and CR practice. So RC is reading comprehension, which comprises questions like main idea, title, vocabulary, contextual vocabulary. And CR is like the core critical reasoning theory, conclusions, inference, assumptions, logical flaw, paradox. So these are the things that you need to work on right now. Build your basics, have your foundation strong, go through the CR theory, and practice on editorials. So reading editorials is a non-negotiable. You have to, if not already, you have to get a subscription of a good English newspaper. It could be either the Hindu or the Indian Express, or it could be both. But it is very important that you start reading newspaper right now. Then you begin current affairs tracking. So you have in the 4 months to brush up the past GK as well as keep yourself abreast with the continuing or the new events. So it is very important that you start tracking current affairs and maintain a notebook. It could be a digital notebook, like you can use apps like Word, Notion, or it could be a handwritten thing. Then you will have to start writing short answers. Take up a topic. Let's say take up any event that might have happened. We talk about the freedom of speech restrictions on comedians, or the UAPA cases that have been going on. Just take up any such topic, contemporary topic, and start writing small. Start writing what you feel about it, and then see whether what you feel is actually felt by a lot of other people, or what are the facts that you can use to back up what you are writing. Try implementing principled arguments. Understand IRAC. So IRAC is the method that most professors at NLS follow, and is recommended for all NLSAT aspirants also to follow the same while writing your answers. IRAC stands for issue, rule, analysis, and conclusion. So for example, the small factual matrix I gave you, that Anish under the influence of alcohol killed B. So whether Anish should be liable. So in this issue, the issue is very simple. I stands for issue. So the issue is whether Anish should be held liable, or whether the defense of intoxication could be availed by Anish to get acquitted. So this is the issue. Now rule, you will go to IPC, or you will have a basic understanding that if a person is intoxicated against will, they cannot be held liable for the acts. Or you can also apply the rule of murder, that if you have an intention to kill someone, then you will be held liable for murder. So this is the legal rule on which the entire answer hinges. So you will state the rule that you are applying in the case. It could be both the things. Firstly, that if you are intoxicated against your will, you cannot be held liable for murder. And secondly, if you have an intention to kill, you will be held liable for murder. So this is the rule that you will be applying. Then A stands for analysis. So now in analysis bit, you will actually analyze whether Anish was intoxicated against will, or whether Anish had an intention to actually kill B. So this forms your analysis, in which you will present your arguments, you will present the counter arguments and rebuttals to your arguments. And then finally, in the conclusion bit, C stands for conclusion. You will mention that after considering all of the things, this is my opinion that Anish should not be held liable for murder because Anish was intoxicated against will. And these are my points, these are my arguments supporting this conclusion. So this is how a structured answer should look like. And in the first month, you need to target at least 2 to 3 full-length mocks. So if you are confused about where you need to get these mocks, visit our website clartnlti.com, and you will get a comprehensive test series or the full course in which you can enroll, in which we will be providing you 25 full-length mocks for NLSAT. So in the first month, target at least 2 to 3 full-length mocks. Now coming to month 2, which is your application mode. So you have strengthened your basics, you have strengthened your comprehension skills, and you have improved your speed. Now you have to apply what all you have learned in the first month. Now you get into full length part A timed practice. So till now you were only reading and solving questions. But what now you are doing is you're actually timing yourself while reading and while answering the questions. Secondly, begin weekly essays by choosing trending topics. Again, as I told you, take up any topic. Take up, let's say, cricket, which is ongoing in India. Take up any cricket controversy happening in India. Take up the Messi controversy that recently happened in Kolkata and write something on that. Challenge your brain on writing good, solid answers and arguments. Legal reasoning answers using IRAC method. IRAC I already told you about. All the answers that you write, you need to follow the structure of IRAC. Try to improve your structure with each answer you write. At NLTI, we also provide you feedback for every answer that you write from our mock. So the mentors at NLTI do actually guide you that what you are doing is either wrong or right, and this is how you can improve going forward. Now, in the first month, you have to give 2 to 3 mocks in total, but in the second month, you have to give 1 to 2 full-length mocks every week. So at least 1 mock every week, but if you have time and if you want to go that extra mile, give 2 mocks a week. Now, month 3, we are talking about end of February to end of March for the month 3. Now, this is the exam conditioning mode. You have to give 2 full-length mocks per week. This is non-negotiable. When in March, you have to target at least 2 mocks per week. Then you have to work on your essay and legal reasoning answer feedback. As I told you, you have to improve continuously and you have to keep working on the feedback that you get. Then you have to refine your reasoning answers, reasoning errors by analysis. This is relevant to part A. So when you are giving your mocks, you are giving your sectionals for critical reasoning or RC, you will notice a pattern that I am getting inference questions wrong, or I am getting conclusions questions wrong, or I'm not understanding the difference between a premise and an assumption. So you have to refine all these reasoning errors by analysis. You have to analyze the patterns, you have to analyze the mocks, and you have to know in the back of your mind that this is the question that I am getting wrong, this is the wrong logic that I am applying, and this is the correct logic which the exam setter is applying, and I need to reach the correct answer by applying the correct logic. And then practice time management in the mock attempt. So just do not give mocks as simply for the sake of it. Actually follow the time limit of 150 minutes. An ideal time split between part A and part B is 70 minutes for part A and 80 minutes for part B. This can be upwards and minus by plus minus 5, but this is an ideal time. So start practicing mocks in a timed manner. And now in the last month, that is April, you have to polish and reach your peak. 2 to 3 full-length mocks per week, but don't burn out. Rewrite old essay topics from feedback. So for example, you write an essay in January, and then you get a feedback on that from the NLTI mentor suggesting on how you can improve your answers. So when in April, just sit down with the same question and again write, and then analyze how much improvement you see in your answers yourself, whether you have followed the feedback that was given to you, and whether you are still lagging behind somewhere. Now, it is very important that in April you lock in and focus primarily on GK and current affairs, because GK is everywhere. GK is vast. Everything under the sun constitutes GK. So it is very important that you go through or revise past 8 to 10 months GK. Again, if you are wondering how do you do that, you can simply follow NLTI's GK compendium for that. We give you monthly compendium, so it is very handy and it is very easy to just go through the entire past 8 to 10 months news simply from the compendiums. And then you start working on your strategy tweaks for mock attempts. Whether you will attempt part A first, whether you will attempt part B first, how much time you will give for part A, for part B, what should be the time split between RCCR and GK for part A. So when closer to the exam, you actually start working on your strategy tweaks, the one that you will follow in the actual exam. Now, just to give you a reality check of what we are looking at in NLSAT 2026. So the seats at NLS are very limited, only 120 seats, which is a known fact. Applicants for NLSAT are usually around 8,000, so 8,000 to 10,000 people appear for NLSAT. The number can be higher this time because of the increased awareness. But it is very important to know that you don't need to beat everyone. Firstly, you only need to clear part A cutoff. So only 600 people basis their part A score will qualify for part B evaluation. So for part A, your competition is 10,000 people, but for part B, it is only 600 people. So it is very important that you first focus on clearing that benchmark, getting that 55 or 56 in your part A to clear that cutoff. Because once you have cleared your cutoff for part A and your part B is being checked, your competition reduces drastically. In part A, you are competing with the world, the 10,000 students who appeared for NLSAT. But in Part B, you are only competing with 600 students. The 600 students who qualified for Part B evaluation basis their Part A marks. Now, when you have cleared your Part A cutoff, you have to outperform in answer writing among shortlisted candidates, which only stand at 600. So how do I reach the 600 number? So NLS mentions website that mentions that Part B will be checked in the ratio of 1:5. So if there are 120 seats, 120 into 5, that is 600 sheets will be evaluated. This is a strategy game and not a syllabus race. Understand that you do not have to worry about the syllabus. There is no fixed syllabus for NLSAT. It's primarily your critical reasoning, your logical reasoning, your reading comprehension, which is primarily your aptitude and can be trained by obviously taking the NLTI mentorship sessions. But there's no fixed syllabus and it's all about your strategy. Now, just to give you another insight on the last 4 months strategy. So from NLTI trends, student clearing NLSAT attempted at least 10 to 15 mocks. So we have rarely seen any student who cleared NLSAT without appearing for at least 10 to 15 NLTI NLSAT mocks. And also most of them wrote at least 20 to 30 answers, Part A, including Part B answers as well as essay. So this is like the non-negotiable or the bare minimum that you have to target in the next 4 months. Also know that your writing will improve after week 4 to 6 and not earlier. Writing is not a piece of cake or something that you can learn immediately. It will take time. So for example, you write a mock today, you get a feedback tomorrow. You cannot expect your score to improve drastically in the next mock or the answer you write. It will take time because answer writing is a different ball game in itself. Writing improvement is time-based and not talent-based. So a lot of people think that I'm not coming from a well-off background. I have not done my history or political science from St. Stephen's or LSR. So am I out of race already? No, you are not. Part B is not talent-based. It does not reward which college you come from. It rewards how much time you have spent with Part A, how much patience you have had with Part B, how well you have written, how many answers you have written before writing the actual NLSAT exam, and how well you have worked on the feedback given to you by mentors. So do not think you are simply out of the race for NLSAT if you do not come from a rich elite background. Now the final verdict. So the conclusion. I'll try to sum up everything that I spoke about in this long video. So yes, 4 months can be enough for NLSAT, but only if you respect the exam structure, you know it inside out, you know what the paper is expecting you to do. You start writing from day one. You cannot work solely on Part A right now. If you're starting today, if you're starting your preparation today, you have to do Part B simultaneously. You cannot leave Part B as an afterthought or something that you can do after you have done your Part A, because Part B is equally important or even more important sometimes than Part A. And you follow a mock-driven strategy. It is fine that you read newspaper, it is fine that you read compendiums, but if you're not putting your understanding and knowledge to test, then actually you are out of the race, because giving mocks is very important, even more important than completing the syllabus, the so-called syllabus that NLSAT might have. So you have to appear for mocks right from the get-go. If you're starting your preparation in December, late December or early January, at least give 2 to 3 mocks in the first month. You have to keep yourself in that groove of attempting the paper for 2.5 hours, and that can only be done if you attempt mocks frequently. So get the NLTI edge. Yes, at NLTI we will build exam aligned systems. Our mentorship focuses on RC plus CR mastery. We will tell you how to write by giving you writing frameworks, and we work on feedback based improvement. We have mentors at NLTI who were NLSAT toppers in the previous years and are now studying at your dream college, that is the National Law School Bangalore. Because we know that NLSAT rewards thinking and not luck. We train you how to think critically, we train you how to think logically, we train you to improve your reading speed and your comprehension abilities, and most importantly, we train you on how to write good solid answers. And that is possible because we are being taught by NLS professors. The professors who will set the paper, the professors who will evaluate your answers once you write your Part B answers in the paper. We are being taught by them. We know what they're actually rewarding in the answers. We know the format that the NLS expects. So our mentors specifically design the entire course basis that feedback. So you are in safe and trusted hands if you are enrolled with NLTI for your NLSAT prep. And if you have 4 months, use them the right way. And the right way would be if you enroll in the NLTI's course, because we will handhold you from December till April 27th. And even after that, post exam counseling and other opportunities that you can explore. So if you are with NLTI, you are in safe, trusted hands, as is visible from the results from our past years. We'll not only train you for Part A. Part A will include CRC GK, but also for Part B, for legal reasoning answers, for analytical reasoning essays. We will give you hard copy study modules comprising a lot of practice questions, a lot of practice passages, and also very thought out, very comprehensive, and very articulate theory on which you can rely to improve your foundations and your basics. So that's it from this session. I hope this answered the question that a lot of you had, whether 4 months are enough. Yes, 4 months are enough, but a few caveats here and there. You have to use the time judicially. You have to lock in right now. You have to follow the correct approach towards Part A and Part B. And yes, you have to trust someone for your mocks. It could be NLTI or it could be any other institute, but mocks are super important. So that's it from this session. We hope you enjoyed it. If you like the session, please like the video and drop a comment, and this will motivate us to come up with more such sessions in the future. Thank you so much, and we hope that you found this useful.